Hello everyone, my name is Kirby G with Kirby G's Points and Miles, and I've officially embarked on my largest point redemption ever. It all started with a nice little business class flight that I booked just a little while ago. It'll be my first time ever flying business class. I want to talk a little about how that journey started and where I expect to go in the future. Alright, so this trip all started with me browsing Seats.aero. Now there are a couple other websites that are similar to Seats.aero, but this one was the first one I noticed, and it's just kind of fun for me to use. Now I do enjoy using this to find points flights that are last minute. Now you can have a pro account, which will allow you to look more than 1 month into advance, but I always say I don't want to pay for one of these websites until one, I know I have a trip that I want to plan, and two, I can't find that award availability by myself. Let's find a flight for a couple days from now in July 31st. Now I can see all the different options I have. I can fly economy on Alaska for 25,000 points in business class. If I needed a quick flight home to Wisconsin and didn't want to deal with a layover, a direct flight from LAX to O'Hare, could be a good option for me. But as I said, you can only go about 1 month in advance. So if I wanted to fly out November 14th, this website won't show until I pay for an account. Well, I do recommend paying for an account if you want that help searching for flights. I kind of like to brute force it a little bit. Specifically in my case, I wanted to use Aeroplan. The reason why I want to use Aeroplan is because I'm quite familiar with them in the past, and I've used Aeroplan to book economy flights in the US many times in the past for quite cheap. So we'll just look here, one-way flight. This is what I actually started with because I found it a really nice flight from LAX to Zurich, Switzerland for 70,000 Aeroplan points. Now I did not end up booking that flight just because I didn't really want to go to Zurich, Switzerland at the moment, but it was kind of fun to kind of see what kind of opportunities are out there. So we'll just see what pops up here. Maybe I can find it randomly again. Do not remember the exact day I had where I found the flight originally. Not sure if there's any availability left, but we'll see here in business class, 90k points for 60% of your time in business class. Now you'll see here, there's a bunch of layovers. I don't want to do that. I'm going to fly direct. So we'll just go back here to the beginning of the Aeroplan website, and we'll do what I did. So I knew I wanted to fly to Japan. Now, I did not have any real plans of when I wanted to fly to Japan, or really didn't have any ideas of what I wanted to do when I got to Japan. But I just know that now that I am in Southern California, I may as well do my best to fly west. So I did what you're seeing right here. I just went on the website while on my phone and just started typing in random dates. Now, business class, that's a lot. I don't want to pay 227,000 points for business class. So what I did here, business class, stops, non-stop, and no results, unfortunately. Well, let's just say to find some of these flights, Japan, business class, it can be quite difficult. So I said, what would happen if I went as far forward as possible to July 14th? They have not released any dates past July 14th, so this is the freshest batch possible. Let's see what pops up. And here we go. As you see here, business class, 75,000 points, non-stop from LAX to Tokyo Narita. You also see one on Singapore right here as well. I was like, well, holy crap, 75 points, 75,000 points in business class, direct, no layover in Canada somewhere, and it's less than 100,000 points? I need to book this. As you can see here, there's still one on this ANA flight and one on the Singapore Airlines flight. And, I decided to just pull the trigger. And as you can see from the sheet chart here, I'm officially sitting in 12A. If anyone has any recommendations of what the best seats are, I did see here that like 11 and 15 might be the best rows, but I don't really want to be that right near the bathrooms. So if anyone has any recommendations of where I should sit, please let me know. So what do I want to do while I'm in Japan? Well, I do know I want to do my best to snag a couple nights at the Park Hyatt Kyoto. If I'm going to Japan, I may as well do the most stereotypical credit card thing possible and use some of my Chase points, transfer them over to Hyatt, and stay at one of the nicest hotels in the world. Now, I do not have everything planned yet. I do not even have a flight home yet, as I probably won't be able to book that for a couple weeks yet, as I do want to stay at least 2 weeks out there, and we'll see what kind of availability there is. I may end up flying back from South Korea. I don't really know what I'll be doing yet, but this is how I like to travel, by the seat of my pants. And having a year to plan everything, that makes things a little bit easier. So I officially have Japan on the books for 2026. If you've seen some of my previous videos, you know that I did want to plan a trip to Asia in 2026. I didn't think I'd be booking it this quickly, but you have to take the opportunities that present themselves. I do want to highlight that the ticket that I purchased through Aeroplan for 75,000 points and $55 worth of taxes is non-refundable. Now, I could have used 90,000 Aeroplan points for the refundable option, but I'm someone who really wants to look at the credit card game as a way for me to get off the couch and travel. I always have these ideas of things I want to do, and I want to make sure that I actually go through with them. And well, maybe an extra 15,000 points is nice to have some flexibility. I have a year to figure some things out. I told my boss already that I'll be going on this trip, and they officially have a year's notice now, so I'm not too worried about that. And for all of you those who've been wondering, what's my cent per point value? Well, this flight was about $3,200 one way. Did some quick calculations. That's about a 4.33 cent per point value. 75,000 Capital One miles, $55. It's a pretty good redemption. I do know I've heard some people get 5, 6, 7, 8 cent per point redemptions, but all I know is that I'm flying to Tokyo and in lay flat. I'll actually get a chance to sleep on a airplane for once in my life, and I'm excited. This will officially be kicking off my Japan series over the next 12 months. As I book hotels, book flights, figure out what excursions I'll be going on. It'll all be documented on this channel here, so I hope you can be along for the journey. I'd love to hit 100 subscribers before the end of the year, and I hope you can join me along with my journey as I plan an awesome vacation to Japan. Just want to say thank you for everyone again for watching this video one last time. Have a great rest of your day.